Yes, everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is, as always, following a match day, 5 things that we learned. And some of this is, we didn't learn it today. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to have to start with the big topic of conversation, aren't we? It's time to talk about Ronaldo. In hindsight, he has scored goals, but he's also been pretty wasteful. And he's been wasteful of some very good opportunities as well. We knew he wasn't clinical, but we see Ronaldo throughout his career and we go, he finds a way to make chances. He finds a way to create space to get a shot off when 99% of players don't get a chance or a shot in those circumstances. He had a knack of making a chance when there wasn't a chance. And that's why a lot of the times you'd look at him and you see Ronaldo typically having 7, 8, 9 shots for every goal that he scored. That's throughout the entirety of his career. That's an extremely low number for a striker that's got such a high volume of goals. But the reason he's got such a high volume of goals and such a high number is he takes a hell of a lot of chances and he shoots from absolutely everywhere. And he is the most productive goal scorer of all time. So you can't be sitting here and going, well, do you know what? He should be more clinical. Well, Ian. The problem that you've got when you're Manchester United and you're not exactly the team dominant in your country, like he's been at the previous instance of Manchester United when he was here, and also Real Madrid and Juventus, is that if you're not creating a lot of chances for him, and even at Portugal, maybe because international football is just shit, but even at Portugal, scored a lot of goals. He's been wasteful when United needed someone clinical. I think if we were looking at Thierry Henry coming back to Arsenal and we're putting in the sort of performances, and this isn't just about goal scoring, this is his overall performance, I think, at the moment. If you were looking at Thierry Henry coming back to Arsenal and he put in the sort of performances Ronaldo was putting in right now, we'd be hammering him. And I think we're not, because it's Ronaldo. I still think he can go on a run of scoring goals because he's always got that innate ability inside him. But at the moment, he has played 4 games, I think, in 11 days, which I don't know if he thought he was coming back to do that. I don't think that we'd have planned him to do it. He's blanked in 8 of his last 9. He isn't linking the play as well as I thought. When we did a lot of scouting of him prior to him coming and as he was being announced, you saw that he did a lot of that at Juventus, and you're like, okay, I can see how this would be a benefit to United, as long as someone's getting him beyond and pushing beyond past the D. And that just hasn't happened. I don't think it's correct to blame Ronaldo. He is what he is. And we should have known what he is. I think the issue is partially Mason Greenwood, partially the former Marcus Rashford, partially the reluctance of Edinson Cavani to play football, partially the reluctance of Tony Martial to be here and to not be very good, partially the immaturity, which obviously is no fault of his own, of just pure immaturity of Charlie McNeil, that we are reliant on Ronaldo to start and play every single game. Now, an option that someone threw up in the review yesterday might be that you try Bruno as a false 9 to give Ronaldo the night off and have a more secure midfield. That might not be a bad option. Outside of that, what's the options? Playing out of form Marcus Rashford. I can't be asked Edinson Cavani or an 18-year-old Charlie McNeil, or persist with Ronaldo. It's easy to see why the easy decision was to persist with Ronaldo. Number 2, if it wasn't gone, it's gone. Top 4. We don't deserve it based on our performances. We're not going to accumulate enough points throughout March to put a serious challenge on. We might be able to rattle Spurs. Looks like they're rounding into a bit of form lately, as we're doing. We're not. We've kind of blown it with the easiest run of games that we could have had coming into it, and it's now out of our hands as everybody else has got games in hand. So it's over. Number 3, frustrating Bruno. This is Bruno. He has got a knack of getting goals and assists without necessarily putting in a good performance, and while he's doing that, you almost can't criticise him. He gets criticised heavily for how many balls he wastes, but that comes with the territory of being a creative player, and I wish more people could understand that. My issue personally with Bruno is I think he's an emotional player, and I think if he relaxed, he'd be unreal. And he just needs to almost play with a little bit of more confidence and assurance. Because I think his emotion can translate to the rest of the team panicking a little bit. And if he was like, everyone relax, we got this, that might translate into that spreading throughout the team. Because this Manchester United team needs leaders. And he, in theory, should be a leader. But he doesn't play necessarily like a leader. Now he runs about and he launches people and he shouts. That's not necessarily real leadership. Real leadership is making sure everybody else is capable of doing their jobs, not just you putting in the maximum effort. I think he hurt us yesterday. I think he was probably another culprit of, well, he definitely was another culprit of being too wasteful and making poor decisions in big moments in the game. Wasn't good enough. Number 4, Matic muscle, mate. Matic has played twice in 1 week and quite comfortably looks head and shoulders above everybody else in the squad. What is going on? If that doesn't highlight, I hope Ralph's going in showing tapes of Matic playing to whoever's in charge, whether it's Murta, Fletcher, or his new best mate Paul Mitchell, if that's going to be the case. I hope he's going in showing tapes to anyone that will watch them. Look what a good number 6 does. And Matic is dusted. He can only play once a month and he's played twice this week. And he was the best player in both. Unbelievable. Real shining highlight of the game, I thought, was strong, was assured. The sort of assuredness I'm talking about that Bruno can't necessarily translate into a team. He just exudes confidence and calmness. And he really, really, really shown us what we're going to have to go and find in the transfer market. Great passing, breaking the lines, dictated play in the first half. That's what United need to go and find that. And they're out there. I can give you a list of 10 right now. They're out there. And some of them will not cost a lot of money. But we need to get someone who's a specialist in that position. It's such an important position in your team. And number 5, Maguire was dropped. And so was Shaw. Shaw did come on, obviously, but Maguire was dropped. Was that a statement from Rangnick? I thought Lindelof and Varane, despite not obviously coming up against the best team in the world, in fact, they might be the worst team in the Premier League, but despite the fact that they didn't have a hell of a lot to do, they still had serious threats. Dennis and Sarr are a problem that you have to come up with answers for. But he has shown Maguire's not undroppable. He kept a clean sheet, which has been rare, despite the fact that it was Watford who was shit. They did put 4 past us last time we played them. We looked a little less shaky at the back because of it. And I now think we're in the zone where this might become a regular occurrence, or a more regular occurrence, because it's never happened. And I like the possibilities that are at play here. Without going into number 6, I think Ralph is doing a sterling job at United. And if you criticise Ralph for the forwards' lack of performance and the defence's lack of intelligence for how we've lost games, I don't think, possibly Atletico aside, maybe, I don't necessarily think there's a time when I go, I think he's set us up wrong there. Or we've not created chances, or what has he done? I think every single decision he's been making and the setup of the team is increasingly looking like it dominates games and limits the opposition's chances. That's what a manager's there to do, and it's on the players to deliver the rest of it. And I think he's doing that. I think anybody that criticised Ralph Rangnick is looking at the results and not the games. Because the results aren't good enough. But the performances in games, mostly Atletico aside, has been very good. And we are creating a ton of chances. And once you start winning the games on XG consistently, you will get there. It's just extremely frustrating for us where we are at the moment. But that's what it is. Cheers for tuning in. I'll be doing a late one later today. If I get my work done, I have got a massive 91-page document that I have to do. So if I get it done, I'll be going live because I've got a bit of a crazy week on the cards. But make sure to subscribe, get the notifications on, and come and join me later if I manage to finish my work and get it done. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.